Everyone, this video is going to share with you the very best canning jars for any task. I'm Jenny and I blog at The Domestic Wildflower, and I'm going to share with you the very best canning jars, whether you're canning or just crafting or cooking, or no matter what your job is at hand, I've got the best canning jars for you. So canning jars or mason jars are inexpensive, usually made in America, recyclable, free of BPA, sturdy, dishwasher safe. They're really, really an amazing, they're amazingly affordable. They're just the best. They're my favorite. So if you're thinking about getting started with canning or about using them for food storage or thinking about incorporating them as drinking glasses, this video is for you. So when people think about mason jars or canning jars, they think about this shape. This is a quart jar, and that means it holds 4 measuring cups of liquid. This is a good jar if you want to jar up dry goods like ground coffee. Like I buy my coffee in bulk from Costco, and I put it into these jars and screw on the lid really tight so it's airtight and like my ants won't get into it or whatever. But I don't use these jars for canning hardly at all. My mom and grandma use quart jars a lot, and I don't prefer to. I would prefer to preserve in smaller batches so that I have convenient sized containers ready instead of like a bigger container of food ready. I think that the food is fresher. Instead of me opening like a huge container, a 4-cup of like, let's say tomato sauce, and then it's sitting in the fridge. I don't really want to do that. I want to have a small container personally. So again, this is the quart, it's 4 cups, and this is a wide mouth. That's the bigger lid. I think that the most valuable canning jar for any use, for canning, for drinking out of, for anything, is the wide mouth pint. It's easy to clean. It's easy to put in the dishwasher. Those one's a little cloudy because I just drank my lemon water out of it earlier. They are 2 measuring cups. It's not too much applesauce. It's not too much jam. It's the right amount, I think, of nearly anything. So if I were you and you were getting started with canning or with using reusable containers for foods or for drinking glasses, get a dozen of these. You will not be sorry. You can use them for all kinds of things. The lids and rings are reusable, and they're stackable. Okay, so once you put the lid on, then you can stack another one of them on top or another half pint on top, and you can make a tower of jars. They're fantastic. If I had to go back, I would never accept from anybody a free regular mouth, which are the more narrow ones. I would say no thank you to those. And I would only get the wide mouth because the wide mouth are stackable. They're so handy. The most versatile canning jar there is. The next most versatile, I think, is the half pint, which is 1 measuring cup in a wide mouth shape. This isn't quite as like chic or cutesy as like the jam jar shape, which are rounded and maybe have like fruit embossed on the side. I don't care about cute. I care about stacking and easy to wash, easy to put upside down in the dishwasher. This is a great quantity of jam, applesauce, fruit cups. It's the right amount of food to just like, okay, I'm going to grab a couple jars of applesauce, jump in the car and go. It's my absolute fave. For quantity, right? Especially as a mom with kids, or just like a person who has to eat, like in the car or just on the go. It's the absolute best. It really is. This and the, oh gosh, it's hard to do this with one hand. These 2 jars right here, if you had to choose 2 jars, this is it. You could can all year long with these 2 jars. If you were canning for a much larger family, I just have 2 children, you might want to jump up to the quarts, but these are just so versatile, so valuable. These are great for storing leftovers or like a small, like a little bit of something left over. So handy, so helpful. And then in the blog post that I've linked, the best canning jars on my blog, The Domestic Wildflower, I have one other jar that's kind of a specialty jar, but it's also easy to clean and really versatile for a pretty wide variety of things, and that is these little baby 4-ounce jars by Ball. I really like these because it makes it achievable to can a batch of something and can it in these little jars and then share that batch with your friends and family. You could give 4 ounces of jam, so that's enough for probably like 3 pieces of toast, I'd say, give or take. It's enough to share, but not so much work for you. It's also the right size, like for hot sauce or like a really indulgent thing like chocolate cherry jam, something like with a really strong flavor or taste. And it's also really useful for like if I had to like put like a couple extra ibuprofen in my car or a few stray, I don't know, like little tiny, my kids have like these little tiny like put together dinosaur bone toys, like little itty bitty things like that. It's pretty helpful. So those are my canning jar recommendations from my blog post, The Best Canning Jars. And again, I'm Jenny. If you have any questions about the best canning jars, fire away. I love helping people get started with canning and with choosing the best jars. I think canning jars are such helpful tools for the kitchen and for just anybody who eats, for anybody who eats food. But yeah, I'll be sharing more helpful canning information all summer long. So fire away if you have any questions, but if not, we'll be talking to you soon.